Welcome to tonight's game. This game is being conducted according to the rules and regulations of the UIL. We ask that you consider the time and effort each of these students and their coaches, sponsors, and teachers have put forth. Regardless of the outcome of tonight's game, all of these groups have proven their willingness to work and sacrifice to achieve excellence. Cheer on these students, coaches, sponsors, and teachers, and applaud them, but do not, through any of your actions, cause them to doubt the value of their hard work. By your conduct, allow these young people to feel pride in their communities and school. The officials for this game have been mutually agreed upon by school officials for both schools. Without them, this game would not be possible. Their knowledge and application of the rules are a result of annual testing, years of study, and continual participation in clinics that further refine their understanding of the game. We ask you, as students, parents, and citizens, to demonstrate the kind of respect for these officials you would extend to any dedicated person in a position of responsibility. Should an emergency occur, instructions will be provided through the stadium public address system. Public safety personnel dispersed throughout the stadium may also provide instructions to fans. It is important for people to remain calm and follow the instructions. If there is a total loss of power, please stay seated and school district staff will provide further instructions. Under special circumstances, for safety purposes, fans may be required to evacuate the stadium. Should this occur, please follow the directions provided through the public address system and leave in a calm, orderly fashion through the nearest gate. Should a weather event develop, information and warnings will be provided through the stadium public address system. After an event that would cause you to leave the stadium, you will be readmitted to the stadium once it is safe. To report a public safety issue, please inform a CISD police officer or school official. Lastly, please remember, if you see something, say something.
Good evening and welcome to Moorhead Stadium here in Conroe, Texas. We've got a District 13 6A game on tap for you tonight, and it will be a great one between the Woodlands Highlanders and the home team, Conroe High School Tigers. And it's all to play for here tonight in this one with a pivotal district encounter. Overall records coming into this one, Conroe 3-1 overall, and they are 1-1 in district, where the Woodlands Highlanders are 2-2 overall. 2 wins, 0 losses in district. And of course, the Woodlands and Conroe, top 2 largest enrollment schools in 13-6A. So tonight's game is one to bookmark, in addition to it being a rivalry, just because this could determine the seeding in the Division I bracket of 6A, provided both of these two teams finish in the top 4 in the district. And that could be the difference between facing Westfield or facing a team like an Aldine Davis, potentially out of that district. So plenty to play for in this one. My name is Jeremy McGrail, joined tonight on the broadcast by Sam Ulrich. Sam, how are you doing tonight, and what are you looking forward to in this matchup we've got on tap here?
Thank you, Jeremy. I'm feeling fantastic. It's going to be a great game tonight. The first thing I'm looking at Conroe. They're trying to break this cyclical pattern of starting off 3-1. They started off 3-1 last year. Then they kind of fell down, dropping their next 3. So they're looking to break that pattern. And from the Woodlands, you're just trying to maintain your dominance through district over this history. You know, Conroe hasn't beaten the Woodlands since 2007. Last time that was, I was only 2 years old, so I don't even remember that. And so Woodlands, they play sound football. I was talking to Coach Hardman yesterday, and he said, the Woodlands are not going to beat themselves. We're going to have to beat the Woodlands. And so that's a big thing is the Woodlands, they play safe football. Quarterback, maybe mature, has not thrown any interceptions this year, so they play safe football and smart football.
Yeah, great stuff, Sam. Looking forward to this one tonight quite a bit. We're on a condensed pregame schedule due to the storm that was in the area, delaying our kickoff here tonight a little bit, so we'll have some sponsor commercials coming up, and then we will bring in the hype videos and, of course, bring the teams out onto the field where we'll bring you a few more keys. But sponsor commercials coming up, and we will come to you closer to kickoff.
Junior at center.
Yeah, and Sam, while they continue to go through the introductions on the field, I believe we have some additional time here before we hit the commercials. So I wanted to cover what happened last week just so we can set the table for the matchups this weekend in the district and talk about kind of where things are looking to be heading right now and where they might go here in the future as a result. What happens around the district this week. So last week, we had the Woodlands defeating New Caney by a score of 49-42. I called that game over at the bank. Had Grand Oaks emerging as a 13-7 winner over Caney Creek. Had Willis beating Conroe by a score of 63-14 up in Willis. And then you had College Park defeating Cleveland 70-10. The bye week in the district last week was Oak Ridge. This week the bye team is College Park. So the matchups around the district are Willis at Grand Oaks. That's the game over at Wood Forest Bank Stadium. You have Caney Creek at Cleveland. Our game here tonight, of course, Woodlands at Conroe. And then we have Oak Ridge at New Caney. So just some very pivotal games. I think that Oak Ridge against New Caney game, Sam, is going to be a really key one also in the playoff race in addition to what happens here tonight, as well as, of course, that Willis at Grand Oaks game. See if the Wildcats can keep up that blistering pace they've set so far. And I know you got a good look at them last week. What do you think of their prospects so far, just based on what they did in that game against the Tigers?
Yeah, so going into the last week, it was the number one offense against the number one defense. And so Conroe really hadn't seen a good offense. And so they came out a little sluggish and looking like. And so I think that game last week, their ability to take that loss and then go into this week and seeing, what a really good offense looks like is going to help them prepare for this game against the Woodlands tonight. But also on the Woodlands side, their first two games where they lost, played North Shore and Lamar, just their ability, these two teams are very prepared for this game, and it's going to be a really good game due to the fact this is a big rivalry. I know on campus today was the overall day, as Conroe does say, because we're overall better than the Woodlands. That's what the motto every time we play the Woodlands in football is, and so it's going to be a good game.
Yeah, you love these traditional rivalries because here in the Houston area, we've built so many new schools that I feel like rivalries like this and just their traditional schools like this have kind of been phased out as all the new schools come online, so it's awesome. Get under the Friday night lights for a game like this between two communities that have been here for a long time, and just to see that tradition continue, as you just mentioned with the overall thing there at Conroe High School. That's pretty cool. I hadn't heard that before, but that is a good one. And right now in the district standings, we have Willis at the top, followed by College Park and the Woodlands. Those three are actually all three undefeated going into this weekend. And then behind them, you've got Conroe and then Grand Oaks at 1-1 in the district. Oak Ridge is 0-1. So the race for the playoffs is just going to be unbelievable when I look at it on paper, especially given what we've seen from New Caney and the Woodlands, two teams that kind of ran away with it a little bit last year. It's just hard to figure out how everything's going to shake out this year. So my theory, Sam, is we just show up each week and enjoy the action we see on the field. And when I look at this matchup we have here tonight, I feel like we have points in store with the way both of these teams can kind of hit the big plays. This will be my first time getting to look at Conroe this year, but from what I remember about the Tigers last year, it was very much a big play team in all phases, like offense, defense, and special teams. I feel like whenever the Tigers scored, they were making some kind of explosive play, and I feel like the Woodlands has that personality too. It's like when they go big.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is a Conroe defense that really gets to the quarterback. I believe they're one of the top teams in the district in sacks, and Matthew Westmoreland tied for first in sacks in the district. And so this is a team that really makes the quarterback, pressure, makes him escape that pocket, and makes him uncomfortable. So we're going to see how that plays out tonight, as it looks like these teams are about to come out through the respective inflatables.
Yeah, absolutely. We're getting after it tonight here, Sam. We can go straight from the warm-up to directly behind the inflatable. No trip back to the field house that would normally happen after the warm-up. The teams came out with about 15 to 20 minutes to prepare after they emerged from the locker room following that storm delay here on the north side. And, yeah, they're getting right behind their inflatables. We're going to run out here and just over 3 minutes away from the opening kick, of course. After the teams run out, we'll line up for the national anthems, and, of course, we'll be cutting away for that. But we'll come back afterwards as the officials come out to midfield, get our coin toss up in the air, and we will see who starts with the ball tonight and just get a look at that opening strategy that takes place in those first possessions of the game. So, again, for Sam Ulrich, I am Jeremy McGrail. Thrilled to have you join us on this broadcast tonight. We're on the Moorhead channel on YouTube, of course, so just remember, you're enjoying this broadcast, please hit the like button and subscribe to the Moorhead channel, as well as the Wood Forest Bank channel, and check out everything the district has to offer. And here come your home team, Conroe Tigers here. Sam running out onto the field. Woodlands already circling back to the lineup for the national kickoff for the opening kickoff. I'm trying to make this into a national championship or something. Man, yeah, it's a big occasion here in district, but maybe not quite national. But in terms of 13-6A, as we spoke about, Sam, huge game as it comes to the playoff implications.
Yes, it is. And Conroe wearing the black uniforms with the white helmets. Really nice look. And then over on the Woodland side, white jerseys, red pants, white helmet. Teams are looking good. Getting ready for the kickoff. A little delayed due to some lightning in the area, but
yep, good job by all to get us back on schedule to get this kickoff going sooner rather than later here tonight, not keep us waiting for what could be a very entertaining game on the scoreboard, but we'll just have to wait, let it all play out, and see what kind of game we get here under the lights at Moorhead as Conroe huddles in their end zone. Say a prayer here before we line up, do the national anthem, and then come back for opening kick. So we will break momentarily here and come back to you as we get the opening coin toss off here. After that stirring rendition of the national anthem, we are ready to bring the team captains out to midfield, have our opening coin toss, see who's going to start with the ball tonight. And as we've been talking about pregame here, Sam, could be a very significant early turn in the game from the tactical perspective. Just who gets the ball first, who has the first chance to put points on the board in a game like this that we think could end up being kind of an up and down encounter in terms of scoring. Could prove significant as we go on, but of course be a long football game with some momentum turns, I imagine. So we will see what happens here as the captains now meet at midfield. For Conroe, looks like we have Nigel Leday, Devondre McGee, Tyler Tate, and Mitch Melton out as your senior captains coming out there to do that. And then for the Woodlands, you've got number 5, Caden Clayton, Aiden Self, number 1. Of course, Aiden Self off to a great start this season as a running back, actually, for the team when he came into the season, planning to be a receiver, but filling in very well at the running back position. In addition to those two, you have Caleb Phillips, a senior linebacker, number 9, out there for the Highlanders. So Conroe wins the opening toss, defers, so the Woodlands is going to receive the opening kick. So it'll be the Tiger defense here that wants to try and establish that early momentum here, Sam, at home, and see if maybe they can come out here, get an early stop against what we know is a very explosive Woodlands offense led by Mabry Matoyer.
Yeah, and with the preparation from last week against going that Willis offense, I think this defense is going to feel a lot more prepared than what they saw last week. And, you know, DJ, just an incredible talent going to Florida next year. And also on the Woodland side, we have Mabry, who's going to Wisconsin. So 2 of the top, I'd say 5 quarterbacks in the state of Texas in this district, and you're playing them back-to-back.
Yep, absolutely. 2 of the very best in the state. And although you never want a rivalry game to go like last week's game did up in Willis, did give this Tigers team a chance to learn quite a bit about themselves. So you have to think they hit the film pretty hard this week because they knew, I'm sure all eyes immediately turned to this game because with the Woodlands coming up, you can't sit there and feel sorry for yourself. After what happened last week, you've got to get ready to go again. So here we are with the ball down. I believe that's Arjit Singh for Conroe's got it teed up. Going to send it back for us. Of course, returning kicker for the Tigers from last year. Going to be fielded and returned. Nice return out. Hits the right sideline. Going to get up to about the 35 before he's pushed out of bounds. That's Shane Walker, junior receiver for the Highlanders. So Mabry Matoyer and this offense coming out, they will be in business around the 34-yard line is where they're going to start on their own end of the field. So we will get a look at what the Woodlands is going to do. Coming out here, drive 1 last week, they hardly put a foot wrong all night. They scored on 7 of their 8 offensive possessions against New Caney. So basically, they had to be virtually perfect to win that game by 7 points. Shotgun, 3 receivers. Going to hand off on the sweep to Farrakhan around the right side. Going to try and get what he can. Nicely stacked up, though, by the Tiger defense there, Sam.
Yeah, this Tiger run defense has been impressive all year and weren't really able to contain DJ last week, but just overall, against Candy Creek, against Eisenhower, against Katy Patel, just able to shut down that run, and that's the big thing is they're able to get early 3-and-outs in drives. Yeah,
bring up a 2nd and 8 here, 4 wide receivers in the set, some early movement. No contact made, so Matoyer is going to look over to his sideline for a play adjustment. The thing Conroe will have to be aware of defensively playing this Woodlands team is they're going to rotate a few guys into that running back position, hand the ball off to a few different guys. Going to fake it to Self. Matoyer now is going to keep it, go straight up the middle and hit the slide. Going to be short of the first down by a few yards. So here's an early 3rd down opportunity for the Tigers. You've got this explosive Woodlands offense still in their own end of the field. Obviously be a huge statement for this Conroe defense if they're able to come up with a stop here. These are the moments, of course, as coaches you look to as opportunities to see how your team is growing if they can get a stop like this. But, of course, against this offense, not easy. 4 wide receivers for Matoyer. Going to drop back, QB draw. Straight up the middle, he's going to have the first down. Hit space around the left side, around midfield. Nice tackle there to prevent him from getting a lot more than that. On the tackle there, Tice Williams, one of the leaders in this team, senior leaders there, Sam.
Yep, Tice Williams flipped his commitment earlier this week, heading to Texas State. Was committed to Boise State, but flipped it, staying in the state of Texas, going to Texas State. He's a big key to this defense for Conroe.
Yep, 4 down linemen across that point of attack for Conroe's. Matoyer 4 wide, back to pass, looking deep. Going for the post route. Man has a step. It's going to be caught down inside the 10. That is Quanell Farrakhan Jr. with the catch. Junior wide receiver all the way down to the 6-yard line of Conroe. And the Woodlands going to try and move fast and run up quickly. Matoyer doing a good job of just laying that post route in. They got the coverage they wanted, did the rest to get the separation. So it's the Highlanders in business here, knocking on the door with a chance to score the first points of the game. 4 wide receivers, shotgun, motion across the formation, jet sweep. Left side's going to be touchdown, Woodlands to start the game. So first points go to the Highlanders, well executed on that jet sweep. It's number 16, junior receiver Jackson Bollinger, taking that in for the Woodlands to get us going here tonight. 9:23 on the clock in the first quarter here, Sam. The Woodlands leading 6-0 pending this PAT by Scott Starzyk.
Yep, that was just perfectly executed drive all around, just made the smart plays. Maybe we're able to take one over the top, that big post route to...
Yep, Farrakhan on that big catch down there, and Starzyk is high snap there on the PAT, but they do a good job getting it down. And yeah, Sam, you watch this Woodlands team play, and that's really the big key in getting stops against them. It's like you have to eliminate that deep pass and try and make their life as difficult as you can in terms of forcing them to do more of the nickel diming down the field as opposed to giving up those plays where they take the top off. But of course, in the modern day of football offense that we see, easier said than done when you get spread out 4 and 5 wide just about every down now on defense. So you're going to end up in those isolated man-on-man coverages somewhere on the field. So it comes down to just having the athletes to be able to match up and run with people, because you have to make plays. You can't double cover everybody. So those are the tough things to defend. So when you have these top-end quarterbacks like Conroe's seen these last 2 weeks now with Lagway and Matoyer, it's like you really got to be on it with your coverages, because you know those guys are accurate enough to go hit the ball 50, 60 yards down the field on a dime.
Yeah, so this Conroe offense was pretty stagnant last week. Just only times they were able to score is when Willis had a bad snap on the punt. And so I would not be surprised if we see a little bit of maybe some trickeration on this drive, just really trying to change things up, trying to catch the Woodlands defense off guard to start this game early. As we said earlier, Coach Hardman's big thing is the Woodlands are not going to beat themselves. We're going to have to beat the Woodlands.
Yep, really excellent point there from Coach Hardiman as the ball fell off the tee there, so Starzyk has to put it back on. And one thing Conroe can't do is panic. It's like the Woodlands made a play to start.
Might be another weather delay.
It's like, yeah, the teams are being signaled to run off the field, it looks like. So unfortunately, we appear to be headed for yet another weather delay here. Teams moving quickly off the field. Fans making their way for the concourses as well.
You could say that the Woodlands got off to such a lightning start.
Something that's just too close by here to the stadium, so we will delay and hopefully come back to you before too long and get our action resumed here tonight with the Woodlands leading at 7-0, 9:23 on the clock in the first quarter as we encounter our second weather delay here. And hello everyone. After a second storm delay, we are back here just over 2 minutes away from resuming our action where we left it off in the first quarter. I believe there were 9 minutes and 23 seconds to go in the first quarter. The Woodlands had just scored the first points of the night and taken a 7-0 lead after scoring a touchdown through Jackson Bolander in a big play to set that score up through Quanell Farrakhan, a deep post from Matoyer that really got that drive going inside the 10 of Conroe. So when play resumes here momentarily, we will pick it up with Conroe taking the ball back and trying to equalize that opening score from the Highlanders. Sam, hot start to the game. And we mentioned in pregame, this could be a game where we see quite a few points.
Yep.
So it'll be important for the Tigers to try and come out here, shake off the rust that the teams have no doubt encountered over those multiple weathered storm delays, and try and come out here and get sharp as quickly as they can out here, trying to warm up, stretch out now, and kind of get limbered back up. Yeah, lengthy delay there, Sam, and never ideal for players or teams because they're very regimented schedules, and to have a game start like that and then basically it start or stop as fast as it started, not ideal for either team, but you get on with the show.
You get all that adrenaline going. I had my adrenaline going for the game, and then you just stop for about half an hour to 45 minutes. It really plays a big role into this game. We're going to see how Conroe responds to that opening Woodlands touchdown, as right now they have 10 minutes on the clock. I believe the weather delay clock had ended.
This is Donnie Buckaloo with Buckaloo Chevrolet. After 2.5 years, I'm proud to say we have new Chevrolets in stock today and are receiving new inventory daily. At Buckaloo Chevrolet, what you see is what you get. We don't charge market adjustments or added equipment you don't want. The price you see is the price you pay, so don't pay over MSRP. On I-45 in Conroe or shop BuckalooChevrolet.com.
It's a better buy at Buckaloo.
It's not enough to be the leader in robotic-assisted procedures if we're not by your side for every step of your recovery, guiding you back to what makes you, you. Because it's not enough to replace your knee if we're not getting you to the moments that can't be replaced. Memorial Hermann, advancing health, personalizing care.
You've got a lot going on, so how do you find time to take care of you? At Houston Methodist, we work around your busy life. There's same-day visits when you're sick, online scheduling with specialists, access to all your records through MyChart, and video visits 24/7 if you need urgent care. Bringing you Houston Methodist's expertise, wherever, whenever you need it.
That's the difference between practicing medicine and leading it. Houston Methodist, leading medicine.
For over 40 years, Woodforest National Bank has proudly supported the youth and schools of this great community. Our bank has grown through the years, and Montgomery County is our home. With over 30 convenient branch locations right here in Montgomery County, we are your community bank. Next time you're in the area, stop by and say hi. But for now, sit back and enjoy the game.
Shopping for a new or used vehicle, or just looking for a place for good, reliable service? Go with the name you know. Gullo Ford, Gullo Mazda, and Gullo Toyota. The Gullo family has been serving the Conroe Woodlands area since 1970. So the next time you're shopping for a new or used vehicle, or just need service, do yourself a favor and go see Gullo Toyota, Gullo Mazda, and Gullo Ford. Or log on anytime at GulloAuto.com. Gullo, let's drive.
And welcome back to Moorhead Stadium. We're a little over 7 minutes away, it looks like, from resuming play. They've given the teams some time here to get limbered back up before we resume play, with the Woodlands leading 7-0. My name is Jeremy McGrail, joined here by Sam Ulrich, covering the game with you here tonight. We appreciate those of you stuck around through the storm delays, and any new viewers who've been able to pull up the stream here and catch it here as we resume action. In the initial pregame, we went over the district standings to date. And where we stand going in tonight was the Willis Wildcats College Park and the Woodlands are sitting at 2-0 in the district. The Conroe Tigers are 1-1, along with Grand Oaks also 1-1 in district. Oak Ridge 0-1, Cleveland 0-1, Caney Creek and New Caney 0-2 in district. And the implications for our game here tonight are quite big, given that these are the top two largest enrollment schools in the district. And what that means is, in terms of how the Texas high school football playoffs are aligned, is the top two largest enrollment schools that finish in the top four in each district go into the Division I bracket, where they are seeded, and likewise the two smaller enrollment schools will slot into Division II and get seeded the same way. So what that means is these two teams here tonight, as long as they finish in the top four, they are guaranteed for one of those Division I playoff spots. So tonight's game, if they both make it as they would be projected to do so right now, would be for the top seed in Division I, which can be quite significant in terms of who you get matched up with there in that bi-district round. And in particular, given the way the districts are set up, that usually means that one of the Division I teams from this district in 13-6A has to face off against Spring Westfield in the first round. Of course, the Westfield Mustangs are traditionally the top team coming out of 14-6A. So obviously a big difference potentially in that matchup versus what the number 2 seed from 14-6A would be. So in addition to local bragging rights in that rivalry that Sam did a great job of outlining in the pregame, you've got the playoff seeding, which can be a significant deal in terms of the matchups and giving these teams a chance to hang around that postseason bracket for a little bit and get that playoff momentum going, Sam. So there's really all of it to play for here tonight. Couldn't ask for anything more. You've got local rivals, lots of meaning just in the district itself, in that these two teams are very much in contention for a district championship at this point. No trophies have been awarded. And then on top of all that, you've got that playoff seeding, Sam.
Yeah, this is a big-time game, and I guess the weather's showing that, trying to make it stretch out as long as possible. It's supposed to be a 7 o'clock kickoff, delayed a little bit. Played that one drive and then went to another weather delay. So Conroe's offense hasn't seen the field, so we're going to see what they can do. Coming out of the long break, we're going to see if maybe we got a little tight during that break. See if they can loosen up here. We've got about 4 minutes on the clock until we will resume play with the Woodlands kicking off to Conroe.
Absolutely. It'll be Christian Nunley and the Tiger offense trying to get things going here with the first possession. Once we resume play, Scott Starzyk get tacked on the PAT for the Highlanders to make it that 7-0 lead. And if I remember correctly, Conroe won the opening toss and deferred to the Woodlands, so that's how the Woodlands got their hands on the ball first. So, of course, that means Conroe will be getting it first possession of the third quarter, and they will start with it here once play resumes with just a few minutes gone in the first quarter. And we talked about it. This could be a game with a lot of points, so it'll be on Nunley and this offense to come out here, shake the rust off quickly, try and have a response, because what you don't want to have happen from the Tiger perspective is to fall into any kind of big early hole against a team like the Woodlands. They make it really difficult on you to come back because they tend to just keep scoring points themselves. So it's one of those where it's like you hesitate to make it a track meet against them, but I think Conroe's personality is exactly that too. I think these are two big play programs. They want to score explosively, and they don't really take a whole lot of plays to get down the field here, Sam. So when you get two teams of that personality, typically what you get is almost one of those games where it feels like a little bit like the one I had last week, that Woodlands New Caney game, where it almost feels like last team with the ball, or it's like however those possessions fall in the first quarter, or the fourth quarter rather, can determine whether you get an OT game or kind of one of those one possession score games like the Woodlands had against New Caney, where they won 49-42. Don't know if we'll quite get that high on the scoreboard, but we will see what we get when play resumes here. Little over 2 minutes away, I believe, according to our clock, from resuming play. Again, we thank those of you for joining us on this YouTube live stream for Conroe ISD Athletics on the Moorhead Stadium channel. Always encourage new subscribers to both the Moorhead and the Wood Forest Bank channels, and like these videos. And just help the algorithm out on YouTube and help people find out what's going on here in Conroe ISD with these awesome student athletes that we have in the district and these great presentations that a bunch of people work really hard on each week to bring you from the different venues every week. And just an outstanding thing that Conroe ISD is able to bring the folks through YouTube. And teams now retreating to their sidelines, and looks like we're getting really close to resuming our action here tonight in this really key 13-6A game. And Sam, as we covered in the initial pregame, the other games going on around the district this weekend, all being played tonight. So the bye team in the district this week is College Park. They're one of the teams sitting at 2-0, so they will stay that way until next week when they resume action. So we have Willis at Grand Oaks. That's the game being played down at Woodforest Bank Stadium. We have Caney Creek visiting Cleveland, our game here tonight, of course. And then we have Oak Ridge visiting New Caney. So lots of really important games with some potentially big implications happening. The two biggest games, or the two most meaningful games in terms of the playoff spot, the game we have right here tonight, and then that Oak Ridge at New Caney game figures to be significant as well. And of course, you can't discount Willis at Grand Oaks either. Willis being atop the district and Grand Oaks being one of those teams trying to fight and get a little bit better than last year and see if they can be a factor in that race for the fourth playoff spot as well. So we've got the Conroe Tigers huddling on their sideline right now with what should be the kick return team coming out here. We'll try and take possession, see if they can set up this Tiger offense in good field position here for their first possession of the game. I believe the Woodlands needed only 3 plays to score on their opening drive of the night. That may have been 4, actually. 4 plays. 4-play touchdown drive to start the game.
And that Woodlands drive, they were able to set up that big pass play over the middle with some early run plays. So it's really just sprinkling in a variety of both run and pass and keeping the defense guessing on what they want to run. Woodlands had back-to-back quarterback draws early into that drive.
Yeah, a couple of nice scrambles there, yeah.
So just...
Yep, we have the ball down. Scott Starzik, ball on the tee, back deep to receive for the Tigers. You got number 5, Jalen Mayen, a junior, and with him back there is, I believe, Nigel Leday, a senior. So Starzik has it teed up, and what he normally does is kick this out of the back of the end zone. Very strong leg, one of the better kickers that I've actually ever seen in high school. He is really good. And he's going to kick that one into the end zone per his custom. And with that, the Conroe Tigers is going to take this first possession here after the restart. So here we go with Christian Nunley, the junior quarterback, leading his troops out here. Going to open up in a 3-wide set, it's looking like. Kind of power look in the backfield. H-back, single back next to Nunley. Showing a run look perhaps. Motion into the backfield. Jet sweep. Fakes it. Now he's going to throw a bubble out to the right. Good sweep play. And that's going to be caught. Big gain out across the 45. That's Jalen Mayen on the catch and run there. Clever design on that play, Sam.
Yeah, Jalen Mayen, he's been a big key factor to the special teams, and he's being implemented more into this offense as the seasons go on with some injuries that have played out through the year. So he's a big spark plug to this team, big game player, number 1 in the district in punt return yards.
Creative tight formation 5-wide set here. Going to motion across now. Nunley going to look for the quick throw to the edge. The Woodlands all over that. Quick hit applied. Going to gain maybe a yard on that one, bring up a 2nd and 9. Highlander defense doing a great job at reading that one. So Conroe coming out here with trying to use motion to get out into space on the edge. Worked on their first play. To Mayon didn't work quite as well there. They're going to stay in the 5-wide empty backfield set here.
Woodlands looking like they got the line stacked. Could be pressure or could be dropping back.
Again, jet sweep motion. Nunley's going to fake it and keep it himself. Very good athlete. He's going to try and turn the corner. Just gets past midfield. It'll bring up a third and manageable. Very manageable, actually. Be about 3rd and 4 from the Woodlands 48. So with that run, Nunley just crossing into Highlander territory there.
Yeah, and if you're the Conroe offense, this is a very aggressive offense. And you got to think, if you pick up a couple yards here, even if you're short of the first down stick, you might think about going for it on 4th down. You got to put up points against this Woodlands team because this Woodlands offense very, very dominant throughout district play.
So here we go, 3rd and 3. Nunley faking the handoff, taking it up himself. 1st down, going to move the chains for the Tigers. Nice keep in read on that play by Nunley. Faking the handoff to number 1, Nick Medina. Makes the correct decision there to keep it, so the ball will be right on the 40 of the Highlanders. Again, Conroe well aware of the fact, especially after last week's experience in Willis, that they need to come out, equalize these scores, keep themselves in the game. 5 wide set, empty backfield. Some early movement. Nunley's going to look deep on the post, double covered. Going to fall incomplete. Didn't have what they wanted there.
Yeah, that was...
There's a few different things going on that play, Sam. I thought there may be a illegal procedure there called initially.
Looked like there was some little early movement by one of the wide receivers. Refs didn't throw any flags, and then Nunley tried to take a shot deep, which I like this aggressiveness early from the Tigers. Last week at the Willis game, did not take many shots downfield, so I like to see him taking these shots downfield, try to take these chances, pick up these big plays.
Yep, 5 wide set again for Nunley here on the 2nd and 10 back to pass. Going to look for a quick throw out to the flat area, going to be incomplete. In this Woodlands Highlander defense, coming out each week, trying to get a little bit better defensively, not been the season that they would have expected of themselves on the defensive side of the ball so far, ranking 8 out of 9 teams in the district in total defense, wanting to try and get better each week. Good chance to come out and do that here tonight against what's been a really good explosive Conroe attack so far this season for the most part. 4 wide set here for Nunley. 3rd and 10, back to pass. Going to throw into the flat ball, appeared to come out a little bit funny there. Not sure if he was hit or just lost it. May have just lost it.
I think it got tipped on the line. One of the referees indicated that it was tipped. So
okay, yeah, good.
It's a big stop by the Highlanders there.
Yeah, and I thought you made a good point a moment ago, Sam. And this is one of those games where you know that you've got to score 6s, get that ball in the end zone, and yeah, punts and field goals aren't going to do it. Yeah, chance here to punt and try and pin the Woodlands deep and at least play a little bit of field position again. Trying not to panic here in the early stages. It'll be fair caught. So the Woodlands will have its 2nd possession of the game. This is a nicely caught punt there by the sophomore defensive back Parker Stewart for the Woodlands. Been a really impressive player for the Highlanders so far early in this season, just gaining experience as one of the youngest contributing players on this team. Usually not a whole lot of sophomores that get meaningful varsity snaps for the Woodlands, typically senior and junior dominated. So here comes Mabry Montoya, very successful first drive. Going to have a 3 wide receiver set here to start. Going to hand it off to Aiden Self on a power sweep around the right side. Going to gain about 5 yards. It's a nice push there by the Highlanders. And Self doing a very good job of giving this Woodlands team a feature back that they can lean on here early in the season. May not have been the original plan for him coming in. Serving the role very well. 4 wide for Matoyer. Going to lean in on the handoff again up the middle. Lots of space, and he is off to the races. He is hitting the Jets. Aiden Self to the 20, 15, 10, 5. They're not going to catch him. Touchdown, Highlanders. No flags on the field. Self busting it wide open straight up the middle of the field on that. Does not get touched the entire way. That was about a 75-yard run, I believe.
Fantastic blocking by the Woodlands O-line. They're just able to just create a huge gap for Self to run straight through the middle, and that's probably one of the easiest touchdowns he'll have of the season. It didn't get touched. About a 75-yard explosion there.
Yeah, Self doing what he does in the open field. Very talented football player as Starzyk boots that PAT through. It's going to take the score quickly to 14-0 for the Woodlands. Explosive start for the Highlanders. 6:49 on our clock here in the first quarter after that excellent run. Again, Self just completely untouched on that, sprinting through the middle of the Tiger defense.
What I like to see out of this Conroe offense is I think they should, go a little bit more back to the ground game whenever they got stopped there on that 4th down when they had to punt those 3 straight plays or 3 back-to-back pass plays. And that's really not their identity. They're more of a let's run a little bit of the option with Nunley. Let's get to the outside and let's outrun this team. And so I'd like to see a little bit more of that. I'd also like to see a little bit more motion. Let's try to trick this Woodlands defense, keep them on their toes.
Yeah, we'll see what the Tigers come up with here to try and keep the pace in this game and keep the Woodlands from running away from them on the scoreboard here. So another key possession here for the Tigers, provided they can get that possession back. So Starzyk again with the ball down on the tee. See if Conroe has a chance to return this one. Starzyk will get creative with clever pooch kicks from now and then, but normally he does this, which is put his foot through the ball. Yeah, last week against New Caney, he pulled off a really nice pooch kick that the Woodlands ended up recovering. Out comes the Conroe Tiger offense. Christian Nunley and Nick Medina in the backfield for wide receiver set. Now we're going to motion into the backfield. Nunley reading and keeping, trying the right side, stays on his feet. Nice tough run. Very good. Going to be first down yardage and move the chains on one play for the Tigers. Good positive start to the drive for Conroe.
Very positive start. Just when they run a lot of the quarterback keepers and options, it creates so much versatility when you're able to, one play we'll hand it off to Medina, next Nunley's going to keep it. So it's able to keep the defense on their toes.
Yep, absolutely. 4 wide set again. Bunch trips set here to the near side. Now they're going to loop motion into the backfield. Fake the screen one way, throw a flat route out back to the right. Trying to create lots of movement in this Woodlands defense. Another positive play. These are the plays that Conroe needs to stay ahead of the chains, use a little bit of clock. Because, again, as we talked about, the Woodlands, with their personality ever since they've had Matoyer for the last 3 years, has been quick strike. So you want to control the clock, but move the chains and then score points, obviously, at the end of those drives. Otherwise, you're just using a little bit of time, and it's not really benefiting you. But you want to give your defense a little bit of a breather by staying ahead of the chains. Now they're going to run jet sweep left side. Good room there. Going to turn it up first down. That is Mayan with that carry, the junior. Been heavily involved here in the early going for Conroe. Trying to get his hands on the ball and use his speed there, Sam.
Yeah, just a simple motion across the middle, handoff to Mayan, and that's what we've seen a lot of this Conroe offense all year is using the motion in their offense. I would say about 80% of the time they have some sort of motion pre-snap.
Yep, so here's Nunley. Empty backfield. They've got Medina in that H-back set. Get a quick throw out to the right. Makes a man miss. Nice move. Nigel Leday doing what he does there around the right side. Picking up another first down for the Tigers, one of the more experienced players in this offense. And, of course, coming into this year, you knew that Conroe was trying to replace Lewis Williams, a 3-year, just all-district, kind of all-everything for this offense the past 3 years. Not an easy guy to have to replace. Quick snap here. Going to fake the handoff again. Nunley up the middle. Has space. Is going to break one tackle, move over the 25 down to the 24 of the – they're going to put it on the 25 actually now of the Woodlands. Again, chains move. exactly the drive that Conroe needed to have here so far. But again, Sam, you mentioned this a moment ago. Have to score the touchdown now.
You can't let this game get out of reach if you're Conroe here. You have to put points on the board, and if you're Conroe, you're looking for 6.
Here he is back to pass, looking for the corner route. Single coverage, can he complete it? Just falls incomplete. The Woodlands had some coverage in the area, but was not a bad matchup and a bad play call for Conroe. Had pretty much what they would want on there, gave their guy a chance to make a play. That was James Cantaloupe on the coverage for the Woodlands junior defensive back. Bring up a 2nd and 10. Looks like Nunley's going to be empty backfield with an H-back. 4 wide receivers now going to motion into the backfield on the sweep handoff around the left side to Medina. Going to turn it up for a nice gain and bring up a 3rd and about 5. Ball on the 20. 4:37 and counting here in the first quarter of action. And Conroe trying to answer this hot start from the Woodlands. Nunley moving quick here. Now he's going to look to the sideline. Third and 5, officially down in distance. Line to gain is the 15.
Play clock's running down. I think they're going to take a timeout. Yeah.
Yep, huge down in distance, so you don't want to take any chances whatsoever. Need to make sure you've got the absolute best play possible there, Sam.
Yeah, you really have to pick up the first down here. I also believe that if they pick up 2 or 3 yards here, you go for it, because this is a Woodlands team that's going to be hard to stop that powerful offense that they have, as they've scored on the first 2 drives. And so you have to try to score points, but also if you're given that field goal opportunity, it's a tough decision for Coach Hardman out there. And this Conroe drive so far has been alternating run pass, run pass, run pass. So just very diverse play calling, a lot of motion, and they've been able to move the ball downfield so far, but pivotal 3rd down here.
Yep, we will see what offensive coordinator Rhett Bomar can dial up here on this down. They've got 5 wide set, empty backfield for Nunley. Back to pass, going to throw it out quickly to the flat. Hard hit applied by the Highlanders right away. Going to be right on the first down stick, though. The chains will move. First down, Tigers. They picked up the 19-yard line and the line to gain there. Outstanding hit applied, though, by the Highlander defense. That was number 8, Tyler Honeyman, senior DB, all-district, applying the hit for the Woodlands. A great job by receiving as well by Conroe. Yeah. Those are not easy balls to hold on to. I can say that as a former receiver.
This way to just hold on to that ball and take the hit.
A tight 5 wide set, now motion into the backfield. Nunley's going to throw it to the flat. Again, the Woodlands doing a good job of stringing that out, being on hand to make the tackle. And it's him again, Tyler Honeyman, on the tackle there for a 2 or 3 yard loss. And Bomar and this Tiger offense trying to keep the Woodlands head spinning with all that motion into the backfield, using those orbit motions and jet motions across the formation. The hand goes to the running back there, going to move it back past the initial down and distance marker. Going to bring up a 3rd and 8 down to the 13-yard line of the Woodlands. Three receiver set, split backfield shotgun for Nunley here. He's going to read it in and keep it going up the middle. Not a whole lot to gain there. Move it forward a few yards. Down to the 11. The line to gain for the first down is just inside the 5. Looks like the field goal team, Arjit Singh, is running out onto the field for the Tigers, so they're going to take some points here for all their effort on that drive. Mm-hmm. It's a really well-executed drive overall. Obviously, you want the touchdown, but you've got to try and come away with something here. You can't leave a drive like that empty-handed if you're the Tigers.
Oh, it's blocked.
Blocked. The Woodlands all over that They're going to recover. They're going to deny those points for Conroe. Singh couldn't even get his foot on that when the Woodlands was so far back into the rush there against the holder. Didn't look like the ball got off the air, really, or got into the air.
Now the Highlanders just able to just get in that backfield so quick there.
Yep, big early play on special teams for the Woodlands, so out comes Matoyer and what's been a very explosive Highlander offense so far. Let's see if they elect to take a shot here on the first play. Matoyer going to run the sweep with Bolander. He's going to break it again up the middle. He's going to be out to midfield inside the 40, 35, inside the 30. Powerful, lowers her shoulder at the end of the run inside the 25, down to the 22. What an excellent, tough run there by Bolander. And again, the Woodlands just gashing this Conroe defense in the ground game.
Yeah, able to flip fields on one play there. They're just handing it right off the middle, and if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yep, quickly to the line here, 4 wide for Matoyer. The official flag does come in there on the near side. See if it's a neutral zone infraction. Looks like it's actually going to go against the Woodlands here. Going to move the offense back 5 yards, so chance for Conroe to turn that into a positive situation, picking up 5 extra yards to work with. First and 15. Got a minute 20 left in our first quarter of action. As the Woodlands trying to make a hot start, even hotter here. Matoyer 4 wide set, self in the backfield. Quick throw out to the bubble screen on the right. Receiver turns the corner. Flag comes in as he's running it. It has first down yardage if the play stands, and that was Shane Walker on the reception for the Woodlands. But let's see what the flag is about. Usually not great news for the offense when it's thrown in that spot.
Yeah, especially when there's a designed wide receiver screen.
Yep, in the area of a hold. Let's see if that's what they're calling, or maybe there was a face mask grab.
I think that's what they're indicating in their little discussion. We'll see what the official.
Ooh, the rare offensive face mask. Not often you see that called. Again, backs up the Woodlands even further here. It was first and 15. That's going to scoot him back even further, so a chance for this Tiger defensive Conroe to try and take advantage here of a long yardage situation.
I believe that'll make it.
And we should note here that typically when the Woodlands penetrates the opponent 40-yard line, they are in range of stars. The key has a leg that can probably go to 60, and just beyond that, I wouldn't be shocked.
Saw him in warm-ups. He was drilling from about anywhere on the field. He's got an absolute boot on him.
Yeah, cannon of a leg. 4 wide set for the Highlanders. Matoyer back to pass, looking deep down the field. Going to tuck and run now. Doesn't see what he wants, now just get down.
Smart play there.
Good job by the Conroe defense swallowing up. He only gained about a yard or two. Bring up a second and 22. I was going to say it was second and Willis, but because we're on a west to east field, it's more like second and cut and shoot. And we'll have a timeout on the field as the first quarter clock runs out, with the Woodlands leading at 14-0 after one in this pivotal 13-6A game. Thank those of you who are going to be staying up with us a little bit here tonight. Hopefully not too late. We were fortunate that the storms actually avoided this area for the most part. No rain ended up falling here at Moorhead during those delays, just surrounded by lightning and rain happening nearby, but not actually here over our field at Moorhead. The teams are flipping ends of the field here as we get ready to kick off the action here in the second quarter. So, Sam, in terms of what you saw there in that first quarter, what do you think some of the adjustments are for Conroe to try and make a game out of this here?
Yeah, you just got to continue to move the ball down the field on the offense. I mean, they just got unlucky with that blocked field goal and that they weren't able to get into the end zone and they weren't able to get any points at all. And you just got to stop those big runs. You maybe stack the box a little bit more. They're just some kind of like some delayed handoffs that are, I think, catching the defense a little off guard.
And here's Matoyer, 4 wide set. Second long, he's going to head it up the middle. Again, Self busts it wide open. They're not going to get him. 5, touchdown. Just like that, another lightning strike right up the middle of the defense of the Tigers. Just getting into all kinds of space. They have found something they really like, and it's working extremely well. Once again, untouched.
Yeah, just another simple handoff up the middle.
They're hitting it so quick, you barely even have time to call it on the play-by-play because he's in the end zone after about a second or two. Starzyk boots his third PAT through to extend the lead to 21-0, 11:52 left on our second quarter clock. Woodlands off to a great start here tonight, clearly, and doing exactly what they would want to come out and do here as the visiting team here in Moorhead Stadium against the home team, Conroe Tigers, looking to maintain their perfect start in district. In the Woodlands, of course, last week had that huge challenge against New Caney, and the Woodlands got off to a hot start in that game as well, but New Caney just refused to die in that game, refused to go away, and kept themselves in the game. So we'll see if Conroe can summon a similar effort to what New Caney was able to pull off last week. Again, this game kind of has a similar feel to what I saw in that game against New Caney last week, where it looked like the Woodlands was going to be comfortable and off to the races. So we'll see what ends up happening here as we progress through the second quarter until halftime as Starzyk gets the ball to tee it up again here.
Yeah, if you're the Woodlands, you got to keep the foot on the gas pedal here and just keep just torching the Conroe defense.
Yeah, it's a good point there in terms of keeping your foot down and just gaining that dominant characteristic as a team. And so far this year, they've just had a lot of trouble stopping people. So they're going to want to come out here tonight, I would think, very highly motivated on defense to make those improvements that they know they need to make in order to finish district as champions if they can, and also make a run in the playoffs and get to the standard that they want to be with this team. Because coming into the season, the Woodlands, very high expectations, especially given the firepower that they returned on the offensive side of the football. We knew they'd have to replace quite a bit on the defensive side of the ball from a unit that just, at least as far as I was concerned, exceeded all expectations a year ago. So here we go. Conroe taking over possession on their own 25-yard line. Nutley going to throw quick ball to the flat. Going to hit the turf, though. Ground ball. Going to bring up 2nd and 10.
Yeah, ball just thrown a little low. Did it for Bryson Champagne, and he looked like he had some room there. If you would have caught it, was able to hit the edge and probably pick up some good yardage there. But
that's one thing we've seen from Conroe so far tonight when they've gotten those quick passes out onto the edge. Their playmakers have done a good job of picking up those chunks of yards, and they've been moving the chains when they do that. They had some wonderful design on their last drive, even though they couldn't get points out of it, so they just need to continue doing what they did on their last drive. As Nunley has the 4-wide set, orbit motion into the backfield. Going to read in the handoff around the left side. Nice positive gain by Medina, going to pick up a chunk. About 5-yard gain, bring up a 3rd and medium. And if Conroe can keep running plays like that, they're going to give themselves a chance to stay ahead of the chains and just get in manageable down situations as we get into the 5-wide set here again for Nunley. Back to pass. Some heavy pressure applied up the middle, so Nunley's going to use his legs. Around the right side, has the first down and more, shows his acceleration. That's what we know he can do right there. When he gets those legs moving, he can really move.
Yeah, Woodlands sent some pressure there. Rushed about 5 there. Nunley able to escape the pressure, though, out to the right side and was able to get to the edge. And that's kind of the whole thing if you're Conroe is try to outrun them. Get to the edge, pick up some big yards as the Woodlands have been doing to you. They've just been running it up the middle, getting big chunk plays, and if you're Conroe, you're trying to answer to that.
4 wide set, now orbit motion into the backfield again. Razzle-dazzle, flip around the right side. That's Lede. Has room around the right side. He's going to turn it up inside the 40, down to about the 36 of the Woodlands. How about that for some clever play design? Yeah, Conroe trying to pull out all the party tricks here now to give themselves a chance to score their first points of the night.
Yeah, and for an offense that struggled last week, this is what you want to see is the ability to open up the whole playbook in this big game against the Woodlands.
3 wide set here, going to read in the handoff. Nunley's going to try and find some space around the right side. The Woodlands does a good job stringing that out for no gain and keeping track of Nunley. Of course, that'll be one of the foremost items on the scouting report coming into this game. From his experience at Grand Oaks, Nunley was known as a running quarterback there as well. When they were running the wing tee there, he was able to rotate in as a sophomore a year ago with the Grizzlies. The 2x2 shotgun set here, motion out, empty backfield now. Nunley back to pass, heavy pressure applied. He's going to get swallowed up in the backfield by the Woodlands. Number 98 for the Highlanders, Court Britton on that sack, senior defensive lineman for the Highlanders.
Yeah, Highlanders able to get into the backfield there, and I thought Nunley was going to get stripped there, but he felt the pressure coming behind him, and he kind of just tucked it down, took the sack, and you got a 3rd and country mile now.
15 to go here for the first down. Line to gain is the 27-yard line. See what Nunley and this Tiger offense can pull off here. Nunley throwing the out route. Looks like it was completed. And it is inside the 30 just. And you know they're going for it here.
Yeah, you have to go for it if you want to stay in this game.
Yep, so ball on the 30. The line to gain is actually just inside the 32, so it's going to be about 2.5 yards, it looks like. Or they're going to go ahead and call it 3 to go on the scoreboard. Like Nunley's going to have an empty backfield here with the H-back. Takes the direct snap, quick throw out to the left, but the Woodlands sees it coming, sniffs it out. Nick Medina tackled. That's going to turn over the possession. Very well read by the Highlanders, doing a great job of coming out here tonight and defending so far.
Yeah, it's a huge momentum shifter. Again, Conroe able to move down the field pretty quickly, and then just when they got into some trouble, they're just not able to pick up that key first down that they needed, and so.
Yep, hitting that brick wall. Yeah, we saw the blocked field goal a little bit ago, and then this time getting good penetration into the Woodlands half of the field and then coming up short on the first down. So here is Matoyer and the Woodlands offense that's been perfect on the night so far, particularly in the ground game. Split back shotgun. Going to go right back to it. No surprise, Farrakhan Jr. is going to catch it, spin off the first contact. Keeps going past the second contact. What a run, 50 inside the Conroe half of the field, and it looks like a face mask coming in on the end of that run potentially there. Should tack on some extra yardage, but outstanding run by Quanal Farrakhan, junior receiver for the Woodlands. Highlanders content to just pound the ball in the run game, and why not with the success that they're having?
Yeah.
Don't need to do anything else.
I'd say way over 100 yards rushing on the night, probably around 150.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep, easily. Yep, Self had 75 to maybe even just over 80 on that one run alone, so they're pushing 200 now, if not over.
And it's something we haven't seen this so far this season from the Conroe defense. They've been particularly good against the run this year.
So first down, Matoyer back to pass out of the 4 wide set. Looking deep, Going to throw to the sideline over the head of his intended target. Looked like Matoyer might run that initially, but then decided to try and target Patrick Rebel there on that sideline. Just overthrows him. Rebel, one of Matoyer's favorite targets, going back a couple of years now. They came up together on varsity as sophomores a couple seasons ago. 4 wide set, 2x2 for Matoyer in the gun, 2nd and 10. And handoff up the gut, Self again in space, cuts around the left side, 5, touchdown once again, untouched. Aiden Self just having himself a night and a half here tonight. No flags on the field. Score extended to 27-0 for the Woodlands here, Sam.
Yeah, the Conroe D-line looked like they were spread apart there. They had 4 down linemen, but just looked like they're really spread apart and just handed off the middle. If you're the Woodlands, just it's working fantastic for them tonight.
Yep, that's all they need to do, given the success they're having blocking it, just outflanking the Tiger defense there, getting around those 4 down linemen that you mentioned, and Self just kind of skating around the edge, just kind of glides over the turf when he runs. Starzik tacks on his 4th PAT, leg getting a workout here tonight. 8:08 remaining until half with the Highlanders up 28-0. Conroe huddles here on the near sideline before the return unit goes out, and obviously big time danger zone for the Tigers. They've got to have something positive going into the halftime locker room. Plenty of time to go. 8 minutes is a long time, especially in a game like this with all the quick strikes we're seeing.
Yeah, if you're Conroe, you just got to keep that positive mindset. If you go score, get a stop, score before halftime, you get ball coming out of half. So.
Yep, that's a great point to bring back up for anyone who wasn't here with us at the beginning of the game, the original beginning before we had the restart there after the weather delays, is that, yeah, Conroe deferred that opening toss so they'll get the ball at a half. Need to find something positive they can take in the locker room here in the meantime before we get to that point. Starzik has the ball down. Kicking from east to west here. Puts his foot all the way through it, out of the back of the end zone, not returnable. So Conroe will start this drive on their own 25-yard line. See if they continue to work all of that backfield motion that they've shown so far at pretty much every look they've lined up in. They've been running that jet motion, which is the motion that takes the receiver straight across the formation, and then the orbit motion where the player kind of goes in a loop back behind the backfield. Kind of a flex bone influence. Nunley back to pass under heavy pressure again, going to have to just scramble and use his legs, which he's perfectly happy to do. Going to pick up about 4 yards. Late flag, so that should help Conroe pick up a first down. Let's see what the call is officially here in a second.
Yep, looks like the referee's heading towards midfield.
Personal foul against the Highlanders, so big help for the Tigers. Going to move the ball out to the 45 and first down. Looks like Nunley's going to get an empty backfield at least to start here. Going to have quads to one side of the formation, so we'll see if we have any motion into the backfield, perhaps from Medina here. Nope, it's going to come from Lede instead on the jet motion. Quick throw out to Lede's going to catch it. Good run up the right side, and again, high percentage play, and it gets you close to another first down there, Sam. If they can continue to make plays like that, it's like we've seen Conroe can move the ball when they execute and they get the ball into the hands of those receivers like Lede that know what to do as soon as they have their hands on the ball.
Yeah, it's just the the drive killers has been just a couple miscues, maybe a drop pass or a penalty that pushes them back. So you're trying to play some flawless football, and sometimes that's hard, but we've been seeing that they've been able to get down the field.
Yep, now they get it right in on the zone read. Going to hand it to Medina, but the Woodlands all over that. Very well defended again. You've got the likes of Tyler Honeyman and Blaze Ferguson as first to contact on that. Or I should say Caleb Phillips and Honeyman, the first to the contact there. Bring up a 3rd and 2. 5 wide, set, empty backfield, Nunley. Going to look to the sideline now. Flag going to come in. False start offense. Make it 3rd and 7 after they mark off that penalty yardage.
Yeah, that false start might change the play call here for Conroe, as it was 3rd and a couple, and now it's about 3rd and medium.
Yeah, I feel like with the razzle-dazzle we've already seen from Conroe in the play calling department, we could see a double pass at some point here. See what they dial up here. 3rd and 7 for receivers, jet motion. Champagne on the motion, quick throw out the other way to Medina, and all over that was Caden Clayton, making no mistakes on that diagnosis and tackle.
Yeah, it looked like Woodlands had some miscommunication. They actually had a extra defender on that left side, in which Conroe had 3 receivers on the right side and only 2 DBs. So it looked like it was a designed wide receiver screen to that left side, but if Nunley could have scanned the field there, might have been able to pick up some big yards.
Yeah, Clayton for the Woodlands tackling as good as you can do it there. Picture perfect form tackle. As Conroe boots that punt away, going to take a nice positive roll. Down to about the 22-yard line is where the Highlanders will start this possession. 5:45 to go until halftime. 28-0 lead, so we'll see if this Woodlands offense comes out and continues to work that ground game like they've had just enormous success with so far here tonight, with Aiden Self basically just having it however he wants it in the ground game, just not getting touched. And then Farrakhan kind of pitching in as well with a couple of carries. Coming out into the backfield here with Matoria will be the senior running back, Joseph Canola. Matoria's going to go right to him, pull it. Going to look deep up the left sideline. Some contact on that side. Ball's going to fall incomplete. No flag thrown. Just a little bit of hand fighting. I don't think it was anybody's fault. Well covered by Conroe to stay step for step, at least as much as they could with Farrakhan there. So Matoria rode in that fake handoff with Canola before pulling it and taking the shot. Going to be in a 4-wide set here. Canola staying into the backfield. Here is the best chance of the evening so far for Conroe to try and get off the field here defensively on a 3rd and 8.
And if I'm the Highlanders offense here, I might try to catch Conroe off guard and just do what they've been doing all night and hand it off up the middle.
Could be a solid strategy given how things have gone here so far. Conroe showing blitz. Matoria sees it, points it out. Conroe hangs back. Matoria looking over the middle. Strike. Jackson Bolander on the reception over the middle. Great throw by Matoria.
Yeah, clean pocket there. Had all day to throw and was able to find a receiver right over the middle. Great throw by Matoria there.
Yeah, that's exactly the kind of field scanning ability that you expect to see from a guy who's going to Wisconsin to be a Badger here coming up next year. Split back gun here for Matoria on the first down. Going to hand it straight up the gut. Canola Bollander makes the guy miss around to the left side, cuts it up the sideline, still going 30 inside the 25 before he is muscled out of bounds. Jackson Bollander on the explosive carry. So the Woodlands just continuing to keep Conroe on skates, working the likes of Self, Farrakhan, and Bollander in the ground game. First and 10 on the 24-yard line of the Tigers. 4 wide receivers here, trips to the near side for Matoyer. 4:46 to go until half. Matoyer back to pass. Throws it to the corner route. Has Farrakhan caught. Touchdown, Highlanders. Through the corner route to Farrakhan. Popped it wide open just the way they would have wanted to draw it up there. Easy pitch and catch in the end as Farrakhan had a good 2 to 3 yards of space in the end zone to kind of bring that catch in there. Extend the Woodlands lead to 34-0 here. 4:39 on the clock until half.
Seems like the Woodlands are just able to do whatever they want against this Conroe defense. Just they want to score on the run, they can score on the run. If they want to score through the air, they're able to score through the air, as they will take the 35-0 lead here.
Yep, after that 5th PAT there by Starzyk, and the Woodlands coming into this season expected to be one of the best offenses, not just in the Houston area, but in the entire state. They rate as easily a top 10 offense. And they've had, aside from they played North Shore and Lamar as their opening 2 games, and those 2 have proven to be just absolute beastly teams in the Houston area this year. The Woodlands had a rough time against both of those teams, but they appear to have taken some of the lessons learned from taking those couple of games on the chin, and they're applying them in district, playing very well so far, particularly on the offensive side of the ball, just not really getting stopped here in the early going throughout district. And to be fair, there are not many teams in the state of Texas who could play the likes of a North Shore or a Houston Lamar team and come out of it unscathed. So credit to the Woodlands for scheduling that really tough non-district to kind of get them ready and dialed in. But as a team, you have to handle those setbacks correctly as well. It'd be easy for heads to drop and for people to get discouraged and feel like they're not fulfilling the expectations, but you have to take the games early on for what they are. It's like no trophies are awarded. That doesn't happen until November and December, so use those early dress rehearsals as a chance to learn what your weaknesses are. It's, I think, a huge part of high school football from what I've seen over the years is it's so much about how well you address your weaknesses over the course of a season. It's like everybody has the things that they do well in terms of strength, but when it comes to the playoffs especially, it's really about how well a team addresses its weak areas, because that's ultimately what determines at the end of the day who are those teams that can progress from the 3rd and 4th round and get to the state semis and championship game. Is Conroe going to take possession on their own 25-yard line here? 4:36 to go until half. 35-point deficit. Nunley back to pass under pressure again, going to be swallowed under in the backfield. Looks like first man to the contact was Martin Schofield for the Woodlands, a senior linebacker. Again, bringing a blitz right up the middle, sheds a block. Yep, that was Schofield, and then finishes the job. Bring up 2nd and very long here. 2nd and 18. Empty backfield for Nunley. Jet motion across. Going to read on the jet. Hand it. Player strung down well on the outside there. Couldn't gain much. It was number 5, Jalen Mahan on that carry, the junior.
Woodlands' defense has been quite crafty with the type of blitzes they've sent. The previous play where they sacked Nunley, it was kind of a looping corner blitz, able to get pressure to the outside, and when he rolled out, there was just a guy there right in his face. So some good play calling by this Woodlands defense, being able to stop Conroe on this drive.
Yeah, I've caught a few Woodlands games so far this season, and this is the best that I've seen their defense hunt the football so far this year. 3:14 to go until half with that timeout. Woodlands has all 3 of its timeouts remaining in the first half. Conroe down 2-1 according to the scoreboard after taking that one. It's a nice crowd on hand here at Moorhead despite the weather delay. Got a pretty full crowd here on the home side and a nice contingent on the visitor side as well, as you would imagine. Again, the weather delays we had probably discouraged a few people, but still a nice Friday night occasion here at Moorhead. Traditional rivalries, always nice to see. 4 wide in the set here for Nunley as play resumes on this 3rd and long. Nunley back to pass again, under pressure, and again going to be swallowed up by number 98, Court Britton. Not for the first time either tonight. Believe that is sack number 2 for Britton.
Yeah, and the Highlanders have, I believe, 3 sacks on the night tonight, and coming into this game, they only had 1 all year, so defense might have found their mojo heading into this week after that tough game with New Caney.
Yeah, it's really back and forth game last week where New Caney was able to make enough plays in the passing game to really, that's what kept New Caney in it, and that's what Conroe is struggling to do tonight, is make those plays down the field to kind of be able to match what the Woodlands is doing on offense. And obviously when you play a team as gifted as the Highlanders, the margin for error is so small because you feel like if you even don't score on one drive that it's difficult because they're just coming right back at you and putting the ball in the end zone. So when you play a team like this that you know is high-powered, puts a lot of pressure on the offense to come out and kind of score points on every drive. Because, again, I mentioned last week in that game against New Caney, the Woodlands scored on 7 of their 8 drives, and they had to because the end margin was only 7 points. So it's like they had to be perfect, and they basically were. So Conroe back to punt here, 3 minutes remaining in second quarter. Be fair caught, take a positive bounce. Going to hit off the helmet, I believe, of a Conroe player, so they'll whistle it down at about the 45-yard line. See where they spot it officially here. Might move it just ahead of that. But nevertheless, the Woodlands going to have really good field position with entirely too much time on the clock. If you are looking at it from Conroe High's perspective, they're going to spot it on the 44 in plus territory for the Highlanders. Four wide receivers set here for Matoyer. Trips to the near side of our press box here. Matoyer back to pass, looking deep down the seam, throwing to one-on-one coverage, hangs it up there for Walker to almost make a, and he does pull it in. What a catch. Shane Walker, the junior, pulls it in, went to the ground and had to look there for a second to see that he actually pulled that in. His body was blocking my view of the football there, but what a catch. And what Matoyer did well there was basically threw a rainmaker up there.
Yeah.
That one just floated beautifully for Walker to be able to run under that and make an incredible catch for yet another touchdown. So the Highlanders just kind of rubbing it in at this point of the first half, 41-0. Starzyk on hand for his 6th PAT. Makes no mistakes. 42-0, 2:43 to go until halftime here, Sam. Just kind of a breathtaking display from the Woodlands on offense here tonight.
A beautiful throw. I mean, put it only where the receiver could catch it. Had about a couple steps on the defender there and was able to catch it and then turn when he hit the ground to make sure there was no confusion with the referee if the ball hit the ground. So he survives the ground, able to keep control of the ball and able to extend this lead, making it 42-0. And if you're Conroe, you gotta just stick with it. Talked to Coach Hardman yesterday, and that was his big thing: is you can't let momentum be a huge factor in this game, and it looks like momentum has been a big factor in this game so far. So.
Yep, absolutely, and it's one of those where the Woodlands came out first possession of the game once they Conroe won the opening toss, deferred it to the Woodlands to take the first possession, and the Highlanders made no mistake, scoring that opening drive in about 4 plays before we went into our second weather delay and just establishing right from the get-go how the game was going to go, at least from their perspective on offense, and they have not slowed down one bit. As again, Starzik puts his foot well through the ball, not returnable. So once again, Conroe, which has been in negative field position pretty much all night, going to start on their own 25, not getting much help in terms of their starting field position due to the fact that the Woodlands has been scoring touchdowns and then kicking the ball out of the back of the end zone.
And it looks like we have backup quarterback in for Conroe, the freshman.
Yep.
Cam Nunley,
Yep, Cam Nunley in the game now. Yep, freshman QB, 4 wide receivers here for Conroe. Going to throw it left, stares down his target, gets tipped up and caught. Somehow completed pass, so that's one way to do it. Zach Allen was their receiver who caught that football, junior for Conroe. Fortunate to not have a pick six there, but at the end of the day, they complete the pass. 3 wide here now for Conroe on the 2nd and 5. A little over 2 minutes to go until half. Heck of a situation for a freshman to come into here. Handoff up the middle.
It's Tatum Bell on the carry.
One way to get your feet wet as a varsity player in district here, Sam, is to come in and try and execute a 2-minute drill here. This would be a really useful piece of film for him to look at.
I believe on the season now he's 2 for 3 on passes, so just passed his brother on completion percentage.
It's a nicely thrown ball, good velocity on that, complete to number 3 here, Bryson Champagne, senior. Close to a first down, but just short by a yard. Obviously, they got to keep the offense out here. Nothing to lose at this point.
Nope.
Three wide. See if they elect to try and keep it on the ground here. Jet sweep. Going to hand up the middle. Has the first down. Just gets leaned across that marker. Tatum Bell again on the carry, the senior. And those are the little victories you can take when you watch the game back on film and you're looking for silver linings in a game that's not gone your way so far. Those are the moments you can look at. Give players a pat on the back for converting a 4th down, particularly when you're rolling a freshman out there at quarterback. Throw it deep up the sideline, trying to give his receiver, that was number 6, Zach Allen, a chance to catch that ball. Can't fault the intent whatsoever there, trying to make a play. Well, incomplete, bring up 2nd down, 29 seconds to go until half.
Yeah, if you're Conroe here heading into the half, trying to just put some sort of points on the board. Look at something positive.
5 wide set here. Quick throw into the slot. Looks like got tipped there at the line. Bring up 3rd and long, 25 seconds.
Woodlands looked like they sent some sort of DB blitz. There's a lot of pressure coming off the edges there, and I believe one of those DBs was able to tip it off the line of scrimmage, and that's what disrupted that play.
Yep, that's a good observation, Sam. We've seen the Woodlands bring in quite a few blitzes here tonight from pretty much all angles. 4 wide set here for Conroe. Fake on the jet sweep, made the right read, but again, the Woodlands just absolutely dominant at the point of attack, so not much you can do when the matchups in the trenches are that lopsided towards your opponent on both sides of the ball, offensive and defensive line. Such a huge factor in how a football game ends up going, as that will tick away the final seconds of the first half. Woodlands going to take a 42-0 lead into the locker room. It'll be Conroe getting the ball out of halftime. We encourage you to hang with us over halftime and watch the performances here. The band's got the props in the end zone. Going to wheel them out here and encourage you to stay and watch the student athletes and all the excellent work they put in throughout the week. Work extremely hard on these, so hang with us over halftime. We will be back for the second half of action here in a little bit.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The Woodlands High School is proud to present the award-winning Woodlands High School Marching Band and High Steppers. Tonight, the band will be performing a portion of their contest show, Day Dance, brought to you by our title sponsor, Commissioner James Nowak. This year's band president is Mark Hewlett, and the vice president is Sophia Diniaco. The band is under the field direction of drum majors Sasha Osborne, Divya Patel, Emily Fritchie, Fernando Perez, and Wendy Stein. Percussion captains Jackson Clough, Mark Hewlett, Grant Schilling, Miles Estrada, Addie Thompson, and Alex Torres. Guard captains Hannah Barnett, Brooke Farini, and Landry Rouse. Historians Nora Heemer, Claire Glockham, and Rachel Howes-Wigand. Secretaries Catherine Morris, Connor Anderson, Mia Ashley, Mariel Morad, Talon Park, Sergio Rodriguez, and Elizabeth Salinas. Guard lieutenants Marissa Leach, Olivia Thomas, and Avery Warren. Guard squad leaders Julia Larson, Tenley Smith, and Ainsley Truttle. Guard social officer Sarah Davis. Guard skill leaders Juliana Branham, Valentina Esch, and Layla Hooper. Ladies and gentlemen, the Woodlands High School Marching Band. And now presenting the Woodlands High School High Steppers. The 2023-2024 High Stepper officers are Major Sidney Riggs, Lieutenant Majors Emma Deloitte and Abby Kilishevsky, Captain Isabella Oliveras, Lieutenants Grace Bernard, Olivia Jones, Caitlin Ogburn, and Sophie Sanford. Tonight, the High Steppers will be performing a hat routine to You've Got a Friend. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2023-2024 Woodlands High School High Steppers. We're proud to support Highlander football. Ladies and gentlemen, the Woodlands High School Marching Band and High Steppers. The Woodlands Band would like to wish the Conroe Tiger Band great success in their upcoming contest season.
And welcome back to Moorhead Stadium here for the second half of this District 13 6A game between the Woodlands Highlanders and the home team Conroe Tigers. It was all Woodlands in the first half as the Highlanders take a 42-0 lead into the locker room. It'll be the Conroe Tigers taking the first possession of the third quarter here as we resume play. Hope everyone on the stream enjoyed that halftime performance from both schools as we get ready to bring the Woodlands Highlanders out on their side of the field. Conroe already out and lined up on their own sideline. Be interesting to see what Conroe elects to do on their first possession of this third quarter. Switch quarterbacks towards the end of the first half and started lining up with Cam Nunley, a freshman, in there towards the end of that first half after Christian Nunley, a junior, had taken most of the snaps. So the Highlanders now running out on their side of the field, ready to resume action in what's been a great night for them so far. Be looking to keep that momentum up here in the second quarter and just look to protect their considerable advantage here. And start with the defensive side of the ball that's been very good for the Woodlands here tonight. Been able to pin their ears back via the blitz in particular, and have generated a ton of pressure with their defensive line, creating quite a few sacks and just overall pressures against this Conroe offense. It's been the best overall game that I've seen the Woodlands, particularly on the defensive side of the ball, play so far this year. Getting a lot done in the ground game as well, just opening some huge holes that they were able to run through untouched in that first half. So look forward to see what adjustments Conroe makes to that when they have their first defensive possession. But first thing first will be the return team going back for Conroe. It looks like Jalen Mayon's going to be a lone deep man, perhaps. Again, Starzik for the Woodlands has been kicking these balls out of the end zone all game, and you would expect that to continue here.
And I believe Cameron Nunley is going to remain the quarterback, as I did not see Christian Nunley on the sideline warming up, so looks like his brother will have the rest of the game.
Yeah, looks like Rashad Salih has joined Mayen back as a deep return man there in the end zone. Starzik has the ball down, replacing it here before we kick off our second half of action. Once again, my name is Jeremy McGrail, joined here tonight by Sam Ulrich. Proud to have you all with us here on the stream, staying up a little bit later with us than normal, given we had 2 storm delays to start tonight. A little bit of a hiccup in getting started, but didn't end up getting any raindrops here at Moorhead Stadium, despite all the nasty-looking stuff that was around us on 2 separate occasions. Dodged 2 separate storms from a direct hit here at Moorhead. Kind of both just went around us, but close enough to disrupt the timing of the game, and I believe they're even more delayed down the street at Woodforest Bank Stadium in that game of Willis against Grand Oaks. When I was looking at it last during the halftime here, Willis was leading that one 28-6. And it was still in the second quarter as this game was at halftime. In addition to Willis and the Woodlands, the only other unbeaten team in the district is College Park, who actually has a bye this week. So the Cavs will stay undefeated going into next week. 4 wide receivers in the set here for Cam Nunley. Quick throw out to the right, completed. Be a nice positive gain to start things off here, about an 8-yard gain. Exactly what you want to come out and do. Just make positive plays, move the chains. Work on your overall execution of this offense. For a player this young, this is all just invaluable experience for him to be out here under the lights against varsity players. Going to right in the handoff around the right side. Going to be a first down by plenty out to the 40. And on that carry,
Tatum Bell.
Like Tatum Bell again, Sam. Yep. He's gotten more involved. He looks good as a power back. I'm
Yeah,
impressed.
he is. He's spent his first 3 seasons on junior varsity and able to get some big snaps in this game alongside Cam Nunley, the backup quarterback, and Tatum Bell, very powerful runner, able to just keep those legs moving and pick up those extra couple yards to.
Yep, empty backfield for Nunley. Jet motion across. Now he's going to throw to the motioner. Did a good job of trying to stay tough and catch that pass, but got hit really hard by multiple Highlander defenders there. On the first hit, looked like Caden Villiver for the Woodlands was the first to contact. Really hard hit delivered, and you credit the receiver for showing good courage there, Mayan, in attempting to bring that ball in, because not for the faint of heart. Got to be willing to try and make those catches as a receiver because you know those hits are coming. 5 wide set, jet motion into the backfield. That's Mayan going across the formation. Nunley going to throw it quickly out to him. Caught, but tackled for about a yard and bring up a 3rd and 9. Ball on Conroe's own 41.
Cam Nunley looking very composed back there in the pocket, and that's something if you're a Conroe fan that you like to see, because this quarterback is probably your future once his brother Christian leaves.
Yep, good sign to see him out here and just executing the plays, really. I know it sounds simplistic, but when you're this young, it's like just getting the plays off, getting out of huddles, just doing the little things right. It's a big deal. Back to pass, quick slant, going to be caught, another accurate ball thrown. It's going to be right on the marker for a first down, out to midfield, should move the chains in, they do move. Look like on that catch, is that Keegan Odell, number 6 there, Sam?
Yep.
Yep, that was catching that one.
It is.
Making sure I had that right, the roster I had there in the first half, and apologies to both families. I had the numbers of Zach Allen and Keegan Odell reversed. Guess they switched up numbers. 4 wide for Nunley. Back to pass. Smartly keeps it and tries to take off, but nothing to gain there. Stop for no gain. But again, good decision made by the freshman there, Sam. Saw that he didn't have what he wanted downfield and had the presence of mind to tuck it and try and get something on the ground.
Yeah, and these are all just good signs out of a freshman quarterback. I believe he's the only freshman on the varsity team on either of the teams, so it's pretty impressive to see him out here at such a young age.
Yep, 5 wide for Nunley. Back to pass. Another quick throw out into the flat, completed. Again, heavy hits applied. Ball caught by Mayan. Good tough catch. Yeah, as you mentioned, just typically, especially at this level and in a district like this, rarely ever will see a freshman on varsity, just because physically freshmen just aren't typically going to be at the level required to play on varsity against kids who've been in the system for 3 or 4 years. Just a huge, huge physical gap. And that's not even to say the mental gap of learning varsity level football. Another pass complete out to the right, going to be a first down for the Tigers. And on that catch was Bryson Champagne. Just good, quick, accurate throw out to the right.
It's just he looks at his one read. If the read's there, he throws it. If not, he'll take off. But so far this drive, it's his first read has been there every time. So we're going to see what happens if first read isn't there.
Yep, looking deep down the sideline, going to take a shot now. Incomplete, just overshoots his intended man, which was Nigel Leday on that one. Like seeing the young guy get to take a shot there, you know he's one too. He's out there itching to be able to throw that ball further down the field. It's like, come on, coach, call it. Bring up 2nd and 10, 4 wide, trip set. And quick throw out to the flat left side, bubble screen complete to Bryson Champagne yet again, senior. Pick up a couple. The Woodlands is playing that broken or offset 3-3 stack that you see a lot of teams going to nowadays to combat spread offenses. Seeing a lot of this system at the college and high school levels now. just trying to get more guys in coverage and give you more possibilities against the spread offense. However, like any scheme, though, you need the athletes at each spot, particularly when you play a super athletic team like what the Woodlands saw in week 1 against North Shore. Because your players are just in space more isolated. Out route, strike. First down, a throw. And that's a really nice thing to see from, Nunley. Not an easy throw to make. He's got to throw that a long way to get it out there, Sam.
Yeah, I think he throws it before Nigel has the break, so he's just trusting his receiver and trusting the route, the play call, and good signs early.
Yep, this is a really impressive drive that Nunley's leading here. All great reps for him. 5 wide set here inside the red zone. Nice throw out to the flat, complete. Good first down gain all the way inside the 5. Really nice effort there. As Champagne, again, been heavily involved on this drive, about his 3rd catch, I think. You love to see this effort out of halftime, don't you, Sam, if you're from the Conroe perspective?
Yeah, just a first half where it feels like some air came out of the tires. You go into half, pump them back up, throw on some tape on those tires, and just try to chip away. And this is a good confidence booster for Cam Nunley, the freshman, and just getting those live game reps.
Yep, motion across into the H-back position. Nunley's going to ride in the handoff. Bell's going to ping off of defenders, try and fall forward. About the 3-yard line, it looks like they'll spot him. So this is the closest Conroe has been all night to punching it into the end zone. Been in the red zone, as we mentioned a couple of times there in the first half, but had the blocked field goal and then had a turnover on downs, I believe, on their next best opportunity.
And we might see, if Conroe gets in the end zone, more than likely somebody's first varsity touchdown.
Split backfield here for Nunley in the gun. Catch it right in the handoff, keep it. Sweep read wasn't there. Don't think the play quite got off the way they wanted. To see some, let's just say, some gestures from the sideline from the coaches. I'm not sure they got that off as cleanly as they wanted. Four wide set now, 2x2. 3rd and goal to go.
Yeah, there's some movement.
Gonna make it a little bit more challenging. Yeah, false start. Yeah. Here we are, 4 wide receiver set trips to the near side. Nunley back to pass. Flush to his left. Gets rocked as he's trying to get that ball out there. Not sure where the ball actually ended up. I didn't see it. Did you catch that?
I believe he was going to throw and he just threw it right into the ground. So I think they're going to call
straight
it
into the ground.
Yeah. He saw something. Smart he didn't force it. It looks like we're going to have a timeout. So decision time for Conroe. They're going to try to attempt the field goal or try to go for it.
I bet they end up giving their offense a chance here to go for it, because we saw what happened on that field goal attempt early in the game where the Woodlands just kind of came through clean and almost picked the ball off of the hands of the holder. Maybe you just give your offense a chance here to make something happen. Just give them a reason to celebrate here.
An over 7-minute drive here from Conroe.
Yeah, exactly. We talked in the first half, particularly early on before things kind of got wild on the scoreboard for Conroe, just the importance of being able to put those drives together where you move the chains consistently, just if nothing else, to keep that explosive Woodlands offense on the sidelines, which would have been really valuable here tonight now that we've seen how the Woodlands came out here tonight just moving the ball, doing whatever they wanted for the most part. 4 wide receivers in the set here for Conroe. Trips here to the near side. Jet motion. They're going to throw it to him, actually. Wow, I've never seen that. Not sure that's how that play was supposed to go. I think there's a little bit of miscommunication on the motion there and what exactly was supposed to happen. So that'll turn the ball over on downs back to the Woodlands.
Let's see if this Conroe defense can pick up their first stop of the game, or if the Highlanders offense is just going to continue to...
Yeah, it's been very difficult on Conroe here tonight, just with the space that the Woodlands offensive line has opened up. Quick throw out to the right side, going to be caught.
Good tackle there.
Good tackle. On that catch for the Woodlands, number 6, Blaze Ferguson, the senior. Matoyer remaining in the game at quarterback, maybe a little surprisingly. As the Woodlands has a very capable player in Patrick Miller, the senior quarterback that backs up Matoyer. They want Matoyer to get some more work in here tonight before they let him take a rest. In the backfield with him, Perry Watkins, it looks like number 22. Going to hand it off to him on the sweep around the left side. Going to try and plow forward. Good tough run. Going to have the first down. Impressive carry. Again, Perry Watkins, senior running back, getting some run. Now coming in at quarterback will be the player I just mentioned. Patrick Miller, number 10, is in the game. Miller, very capable quarterback in his own right. He would start for just about everybody else in the district as the run goes up the middle. Handoff off to the races. He is at the 40, the 30. Does he have the legs to finish at 20, 10, 5 touchdown? He does. That is number 25, Joseph Canola, senior running back, going to take it to the house once again. The Woodlands opening up a ton of space in the ground game. Bounces it up the left sideline. Canola, massive run there. Touchdown, extending the lead 48-0 for the Woodlands. 3:22 on the clock here in the third quarter.
And I feel like by now, Woodlands definitely over 200 yards rushing.
Oh, they're over 300. Yeah, they're over 300. Yeah, just been long runs from multiple players. Well over 300, maybe even pushing 400 at this stage. That PAT, of course, extending the score to 49-0. 3:22 to go in the third. And we thank those of you staying up late with us on the stream, or if you're watching this back after the fact. Hope you've enjoyed all these images and footage that we've brought you here from Moorhead Stadium here tonight. After our lengthy storm delay in the beginning of the game, having an even longer one down at Wood Forest Bank Stadium. Starzik back out. For Conroe, after these last couple of weeks, just have to have short memory as a team. Go back to work on Monday. You study the film. Look at where things that were exploited, look at the areas that were the most heavily exploited, and see what you can do to try and correct that moving forward in district, because coming up, the Tigers will have winnable games, in games that can keep them in the hunt for a playoff spot. So there's a ton for this team still to play for, while last week and this week haven't gone near the way they would have wanted after a good start to the season. They will need to keep their heads here as they go back to work. Look at the film, do what they need to do to get better and realize that You've played two of the toughest opponents in the district right out of the chute here, so keep your heads up. Just go to work, try and get 1% better each day you come to practice. It's not glamorous at all, and that's what people kind of learn about football if they're intimately involved with it as either a player or you're close to somebody who does play. It's like you realize that a lot of that work just not glamorous, just details and repping things over and over, just trying to get, again, that 1% better. And falling in love with the process of doing that. 3 receivers in the set here. First down and 10. Motioning across. You're going to hand it off up the middle. Good bounce around the left side. Nice run. Nick Medina. There's a flag on the far side, and I think there may be a procedure penalty on the offense. Looked like as the player was going into motion, another one shifted, which...
Yeah, we can see that right there on the replay. That's what the referee throws his flag right about, and they're walking back. So
I believe some of that motion you can do in Canada, but not in the United States. In the Canadian League, it's good to go, but not here. Always blows my mind when they get that full-on running start at the line of scrimmage in the Canadian Football League. It's crazy to watch. 4 wide, 2 by 2 to each side, 1st and 15. Orbit motion into the backfield, going to hand off up the gut to Medina, just trying to get what they can. Good tough run, though. Stays on his feet, trying to fight for yards. Again, you like to see that effort because coaches are paying close attention here, even in these late stages with the score being what it is. They're paying attention to who kind of lets off the gas a little bit, who may not be giving the best effort. That's the kind of thing they're looking for.
Yeah, and this is we mentioned earlier, all these reps for Cam Nunley are big-time reps for him as his development moves forward.
Yeah, just huge, huge. And that one gets away with a little bit, hangs up in the air.
Yeah, he held on to that one a little too long. That's a cross-the-field throw, and he had made that throw earlier, but this time he was throwing it as Lede had already made his break to the sideline. So
yep, it's maybe slightly late, and it hung up a little on him, just long enough for the defender to almost come up with a pick. 2:28 to go in the third. Empty backfield for Nunley. Yeah, each one of these reps invaluable study tools for him. Looking for, it looked like kind of a square in. It would have been a first down had it been complete, but just missed his intended man, Nigel Lede.
Yeah, Woodlands showed pressure there, but then I believe only rushed 3 and dropped everybody back, and trying to keep Nunley, looking at the defense and trying to figure out what defense they're in. And as a young quarterback, it's definitely harder.
Yep, harder to read that when most of the guys end up dropping in coverage like that to find where the openings are. And for the Woodlands, pass defense is something they really need to work on. Having seen them in a few other games, it's like they've really struggled in that area this season. So it's something that they need to continue trying to improve, particularly if they're going to line up against the likes of Willis and College Park, really, for that matter, as well. Teams that can really go down the field with some talented quarterbacks like DJ Lagway over at Willis, of course, and then Cam Montgomery, I think, is a really good quarterback at College Park, too. I was impressed with him as a sophomore last year, and as a junior this season, he's picking up right where he left off under the new coaching staff over there at College Park. As Patrick Miller comes back out onto the field for this Highlander offense. 2x2 shotgun. Quick throw to the flat, complete. Bryce Cooper on the catch for the Woodlands. Senior. Yeah, whenever Patrick Miller's come into a game for the Woodlands here these past 2 seasons, he's a third-year varsity player. Just super impressive every time he comes on the field. Again, he would start for just about everybody else in the district. As they try the right side on a sweep there, good tough run, going to be a first down for the Woodlands. Still working and pushing in there. Going to push him all the way across to the 40.
Big guys up front pushing the pile, pick up those extra yards. That's what the coaches love to see, is trying to get those extra yards, because every yard matters.
Yeah, the Woodlands, I mentioned a second ago that how the Conroe coaches are watching for effort here. Woodlands is looking for the same thing with their team being up there, looking for guys that are slacking at this point in the game and guys who aren't executing the way that they're expected to. So they're both looking at similar things here as we get into the later part of the game. Sweep right side. Well done by the Conroe defense to string that out, tackle it for no gain, bring up 2nd and long. As we near the end of our third quarter of action here tonight, 40 seconds and counting. Miller in a 3-by-1 shotgun. Going to hand off on the sweep right side. Well done to be stopped in the backfield there by Conroe. Number 43, the first to contact there for Conroe, Roman Lara Jr. Really good stop in the backfield. And that'll be the last play in the third quarter, so the teams are going to reverse into the field. We will come back to you with the fourth quarter when play resumes here in a minute. So the Woodlands will break their huddle here and come up on this 3rd and 12. So chance for Conroe to get that elusive stop defensively here against 4 wide receivers. Miller back to pass, looking deep. Going to throw over the middle, caught by Ferguson. Sure hands, right on the marker, going to move the chains. First down, Highlanders. Like Ferguson just sat over the middle of the coverage there in a pocket to where Miller could find him.
And it looks like Conroe still not able to get a 3rd down stop, and that's been one of the key things this game so far, is they've gotten to them on multiple 3rd downs, just not able to get that big time stop.
Handoff up the middle. Pick up a couple of yards. That's Canola, the touchdown scorer, drive a go. Plow forward for a couple of yards. Three-by-one shotgun here for Miller. Motion into the backfield, jet sweep. Left side. Really well done. Stopped by the Conroe defense. That's how you do it on that play. Number 4, Tate Tranum on the tackle for Conroe. On the carry for the Woodlands, Eli Lancaster, sophomore receiver. I believe that's the first we've seen of him tonight with his hands on the football. Another 3rd and long here, 3rd and 12, just like we had a series ago. Miller back to pass, throwing screen. Caught wide open. They're going to have the punt wall set up here around the left side. Canola's going to have the first down and more. down to about the 33-yard line of Conroe. So once again, 3rd and long, chains move.
It's a great play call by the Highlanders offense here. It's a designed halfback screen where the offensive line just looks like it bails and let the D-line get pressure, and as long as the quarterback's able to make that short little dump pass, it's big yards for the offense.
Yeah, Miller did a good job of selling that going the other way, just with the way he opened up his shoulders before pulling it back on the screen. So well done by him. Sweep right side, going to turn it up the middle. Good tough run once again by Canola. Actually on that one, that'll be 22. Perry Watkins, senior running back. We've seen him carry the ball a few times here tonight. Like maybe an outside zone that he cut up inside.
Mm-hmm.
Now another player in the backfield as Woodlands rotates new guys in. Peyton Bessard. Flag comes in far sideline. Yeah, Peyton Bessard in the backfield with Miller now. It will be Broussard up the middle, looking for space, spins off of a tackle before he is tossed down. Bring up a 3rd down after that stop. Now into the backfield for the Woodlands will be number 37, Sean Castillo, another senior.
Woodlands keeping them fresh legs out there at the running back position.
Yep, absolutely.
Just
Giving
cycling
the seniors a chance to get some game action. Miller rolling to the right. Looking for a receiver to pop open, but he just throws it away. Nothing there after the play broke down. 8:41 to go in our game tonight. The Woodlands leading 49-0. 3rd and 13. So on this drive, this has been basically right where the Highlanders want the Tigers in terms of down and distance, apparently.
Yeah.
Converting 2 3rd and longs.
Let's see what they draw up here. The first 3rd down was a completion over the middle for about the yard to gain, so about 13, and then last one was a little halfback screen, so my guess is they're going through the air here in some form or fashion.
Yep, 3 receivers. Miller's going to play fake it and throw it out to the flat area. Going to be caught, but then tackled. Flag appeared to come in on that one in the backfield. So we'll see what this call is. It would really be a perfect summary of the night here as we get the signal. So the first time all night that Conroe gets a stop defensively, a roughing the passer penalty.
That's been
it's that kind of night.
If you could sum up the night in one play, it'd probably be that one.
Yeah, we just saw the summary right there.
Or another play would be about a 75-yard run up the middle for the Highlanders, as they've just dominated the ground game all night.
Yep, so that penalty will move the ball inside the 10 of Conroe as Woodlands offensive force will stay on the field. Again, Peyton Bessard in the backfield alongside Patrick Miller, showing a power run look. They're going to do just that up the gut to Bessard. Makes the first man miss, tackled by the second man. As Miller gets the play from the sideline, going to signal it to his offensive lineman. Bassard staying in the backfield with him. 4 wide. Miller's going to keep it, and he's going to walk into the end zone untouched. Well done on the QB keeper. Touchdown, the Woodlands extending the lead 55-0 pending the PAT. 7:10 left in our game tonight. Patrick Miller on the QB keeper. Perfectly read by Miller.
I believe that was actually the third string quarterback, number 18.
Oh, good catch. They sneak another one in on us.
His jersey was a little scrunched, so it looked like 10. But
yeah, so that would be Cadriel Outlaw then, a junior.
I got fooled there on the quarterback keeper. I surely thought it went to the running back, but
blocked. And here goes Conroe the other way. Let's see if they can return it. 30-20. They're going to get their first points of the night. 10-5 touchdown into the end zone for Conroe on that returned blocked PAT. Count as a safety, rather, on that return. I always forget those rules because you don't see that as often when they block a PAT and return it. But either way, the Tigers on the board. A rare score of 55-2.
Might be the first time in
the history of football if it ends like this.
Yeah, that's. Might have to do some research on that one.
Yeah, pull up the Guinness Book football records here to see if this score has ever happened in a game. But still time for Conroe to get something else for their efforts. So they put the kickoff team back deep. To return is Jalen Mayen. Number 28, Rashad Salih. And here goes Scott the Leg Starzik. Boots the ball through the end zone, so it will be our freshman quarterback, Cam Nunley, back out. Get some more reps here for the Tigers. Perhaps, unless they sneak players in on me as well.
Yeah,
we'll
that's
see.
true.
Have to wait for the huddle to break here.
Still Cam Nunley.
Official down on the field making a really hilarious facial expression there. 2x2 shotgun set. Nothing can keep it. So nifty footwork up the middle to get into a little bit of space there. Positive gain, about 5 yards, 4 or 5 yards.
Yeah, just able to really squeeze through the O-line there.
Yeah, somehow just wriggled his way through there, contorting his body to work through the seam. Again, I'm impressed by what he's showing in his action here tonight. Just a lot of good calm play. Just appears to have a cool head on his shoulders, which for a quarterback is really half of the position at least, if not more. Just having that ability to stay calm. Jet sweep, right side. As Jalen Mayen been heavily involved here all around. Offense, special teams, does it all. Fly sweep there, going to bring up 3rd and 2 now. 6:12 left in our game tonight. Handoff up the middle. Tatum Bell going to bounce it forward. Be just short of the first down, though. Be a yard short. Good dump out to the flat by Nunley. Their pass is going to be completed for the first down, so there's some silver lining for you when you watch the game back on film for these guys to convert a play like that, move the chains. It's more of that calmness we've been talking about.
Yeah.
It's number 19, Keelan Harris, a junior, that caught that. 2x2 shotgun set. Here's Nunley again, going to flip it on the jailbreak screen, and he busts it loose. That would be Zach Allen, number 15. Another first down for Conroe. Nunley looking over the middle this time, just incomplete. He's looking for Keelan Harris again there. Been looking outside mostly with his throws, but a chance there to get something over the middle. Three receivers set here for Nunley. Going to ride in the sweep around the left side to Bell. Gain of a couple.
Another big third down here for Conroe.
Yep, be a 3rd and 8. And coming up to the 4-minute mark left in the game. Two by two shotgun here for Nunley. Back to pass. Was looking down the field, had some deep routes on, but just too much pressure applied there. Wilson Woodruff, a senior, on that tackle for the Highlanders.
So Woodlands defense looking a lot better than they have in their previous games.
Yep, they have. They've been trying to apply more pressure via the blitz for most of the night and haven't been challenged as much as you would like to see in the secondary, at least if you're their opponent. 2 by 2 shotgun set. Heavy pressure applied on Nunley. Big sack.
Yeah, that's another one of the corner blitz there. And
yep, number 24, Justin Taylor, on that tackle for the Woodlands. Yeah, hard for a freshman to pick that up, Sam.
Runs right by the left tackle. As you obviously you don't expect the DB to, you're not picking that up pre-snap. You're probably like, okay, it's 3rd and long. This guy's going to drop back into coverage. But then he just flies off the edge and just able to.
Yep, and I believe that also came from Nunley's backside, so hard to have eyes in the back of your head and feel that coming and try and step up and avoid it. Not really anything you can do when a guy comes through that clean. So just over 3 minutes left. The Woodlands will look to come in here and put the finishing touches on this one. Could be the last possession, provided they don't break a big play. Throwing a quick pass out. Left side caught. Number 19, Andrew Stuber, on the reception. Be Patrick Miller in the game at quarterback. Joined in the backfield, number 37, Sean Castillo. 2nd and 6. 2 by 2 shotgun here. Up the middle, Castillo into space. Good, powerful run inside the 30 of Conroe down to the 28. victory formation for it. The Woodlands, they're going to knee out the remaining time in the game here tonight. And they will seal a 55-2 victory over Conroe here to move to 3-0 in District 13 6A play. Highlanders one step closer to a district title that they would love to reclaim, but a lot of work ahead yet before they can think about doing just that, but another step in the right direction. Woodlands will now be in a winning team for the first time all year record-wise. They'll move to 3-2. 3 straight wins after dropping their opening 2 games to North Shore and Lamar, 2 extremely good football teams this year in the Houston area. As Miller takes another knee. And thank you to everyone who stayed up late with us here tonight to enjoy this live stream on the Conroe ISD YouTube channel for Moorhead Stadium. Encourage you to subscribe to the channel and like the videos. Continue to follow along with us as we journey towards the state playoffs here. Things are going to heat up considerably. We're almost to the end of September, remarkably, and we'll be into October here within a couple of weeks, which is very hard to believe. This will be the last snap of the game by Miller here. Last kneel down. And there it is. And Sam, been a pleasure to join you here tonight on this one. First time we've been able to do this season, but hopefully not the last.
Yep.
So teams will line up and shake hands. Again, Conroe, talked about it earlier, got to keep their heads up and realize they're going to have some winnable games left in district playoff race. It's just going to be nuts in 13-6A. Every time I look at the standings, I have no clue how it's going to shake out with regard to the 4 playoff teams. So watch this space, and for Conroe, get back to work. Look at the film, identify where you can get better, and show up and just put your best foot forward the next time you have the opportunity.
Yeah, and Oak Ridge, who they got next week, and they actually beat New Caney tonight.
Yep, it's a big win for the War Eagles there. Yeah.
Pretty handily. I believe it was 42-14 or something.
Wow.
Something around that. So
impressive.
41-14, so.
Yeah, impressive result there for Oak Ridge to get that. That's a big win for them.
They go into New Caney's place and beat them is a big statement.
Impressive. Yeah, good to see the teams here showing nice sportsmanship and long lines to shake hands, and that'll do it for us here tonight from Moorhead. Again, the Woodlands coming out 55-2 winners here in this 13-6A rivalry game. I'm Jeremy McGrail, was joined here tonight by Sam Ulrich, and we will see you next time.